There is a 43-year-old man sitting in a business meeting right now. He has a mortgage. He has 2 kids. He runs a department of 15 people, and the moment his boss raises her voice, he becomes 12 years old again. Instantly, completely, without choosing it, his palms sweat. His throat closes. His mind goes blank. He is not having a memory. He is reliving one. What if the person you are right now is just a terrified child wearing an adult costume, and you have no idea how to escape? You have felt this. Maybe not in a meeting. Maybe it was during an argument with your partner when suddenly you could not find words. Maybe it was at a family dinner when someone made a comment and your entire body went rigid. Maybe it was last Tuesday when a stranger was slightly rude and you spent 4 hours replaying it, crafting responses you will never deliver. You watch yourself overreact. You watch yourself shut down. You watch yourself become someone you do not recognize, someone smaller, younger, more afraid. And afterward, you wonder why you cannot just act your age. And there is a reason for this. A very specific one. You have probably heard of emotional intelligence. The idea that some people are better at managing feelings than others. But there is a less famous concept that cuts much deeper: emotional age. Your emotional age is not how old you are. It is how old you feel when you are triggered. Erik Erikson, the psychologist who mapped human development into 8 distinct stages, discovered something troubling. Each stage has a crisis that must be resolved. Trust versus mistrust. Autonomy versus shame. Identity versus confusion. If you do not resolve the crisis, you do not fully advance. You get stuck, not metaphorically stuck, developmentally stuck. Your chronological age keeps climbing, but part of you stays frozen at the exact moment things went wrong. You are running outdated emotional software on adult hardware, but this is only the surface. Psychologist Pete Walker spent decades studying what he calls complex PTSD trauma that does not come from a single event, but from an environment, a home where you were not safe. Parents who were unpredictable, absent, or overwhelming. Walker identified something he named emotional flashbacks. Unlike regular flashbacks, you do not see images or hear sounds. You just suddenly feel the way you felt as a child, terrified, helpless, ashamed. And you have no idea why, because there is no movie playing in your head, just the raw emotion with no context. Here is where it gets disturbing. Walker found that many adults are walking around in a near-constant state of emotional flashback. They think this is just who they are: anxious, reactive, easily overwhelmed. They have no idea they are experiencing their childhood on a loop. There is another wound Walker identified that almost no one talks about: parentification. This is when the child becomes the parent, when you learn to manage your mother's moods, when you became your father's therapist, when you raised your siblings because no one else would. You skipped childhood entirely. You were never allowed to be small, but here is what nobody tells you. Neuroscientist Dan Siegel introduced a concept called the window of tolerance. This is the zone where your nervous system can handle stress without shutting down or exploding. Here is the brutal truth: trauma physically narrows this window, not temporally, structurally. Your brain learned that the world was dangerous, so it built a smaller, tighter operating system to keep you safe. This is not weakness. This is brilliant adaptation to impossible circumstances. But that adaptation calcifies. Your comfort zone becomes a prison. Your nervous system mistakes growth for threat. Every time you try to become someone new, your body screams that you are in danger. Because to the 14-year-old still running the show, you are. Neuroplasticity, your brain's ability to change, does not disappear in adulthood. But it does require something your younger self could not afford: safety. The thing you are protecting yourself from is the very thing that could set you free. And you cannot think your way out, because this is not a thinking problem. It is a nervous system problem. The child inside is not being dramatic. The child inside saved your life. The child inside does not know the war is over. Something happened while you watched this video. There was a moment, maybe 30 seconds ago, maybe 2 minutes, where your chest tightened, where you thought of someone, where you recognized yourself in a way that felt uncomfortable. That was not intellectual agreement. That was your younger self looking up. That was the very mechanism we have been describing, activating in real time. You did not choose that reaction. You cannot choose to stop it. So the question is not how do I fix this? The question is much simpler and much harder. How old do you feel right now? Not how old are you? How old do you feel? We build entire personalities around wounds we never chose. We construct adult lives on foundations laid by children who are just trying to survive. We wonder why we keep hitting the same walls, dating the same people, having the same fights. We call it bad luck. We call it personality. We call it just who I am. But maybe who you are is who you had to become. And who you could be is still waiting, frozen at the exact age when someone taught you it was not safe to grow. The child is not the problem. The child is the answer you have been too afraid to meet.